5 foods that harm your joints. Have you ever stopped to think that joint pain, an ache that seems so normal with age, might actually be fueled by your diet? It's a scary thought, isn't it? But the truth is, many everyday foods we consider harmless are speeding up the wear and tear on our joints, damage that could easily be avoided. According to the World Health Organization, about 350 million people suffer from arthritis, much of which is directly tied to what we put on our plates. Understanding what to avoid is the first step in changing this reality. Picture waking up without that morning stiffness or that sharp twinge when climbing stairs. Sounds like a dream, right? But it's achievable with a few simple changes, starting with understanding which foods might be sabotaging your health. The most surprising part? We're not talking about exotic items. These are everyday foods like that processed sandwich bread or the harmless soda with lunch. Small choices can make a massive difference. Now think about the impact this knowledge could have. It's not just about relieving pain, it's about reclaiming your quality of life, avoiding long treatments, and most importantly, taking control of your body. Isn't it incredible that something as basic as food holds so much power? That's exactly what we'll dive into here. Stay with me to the end, because beyond learning about these 5 harmful foods, you'll also discover why they're so damaging and how to replace them practically. After all, identifying the problem is only half the battle. The solutions are where the real change happens. How joints work. Understanding the foundation of joint health. Joints are like the hinges of a door. Without lubrication, they begin to creak and eventually wear out. In our bodies, joints are responsible for all the flexibility and mobility we take for granted daily. But did you know that, besides natural wear, external factors like diet can accelerate this process? Nutrients such as calcium, magnesium, and vitamin D act as natural lubricants, keeping joints healthy and functional. Without them, problems can arise quickly. For example, when a diet is unbalanced, loaded with processed foods but lacking essential nutrients, the result is inflammation, pain, and in severe cases, conditions like osteoarthritis. According to rheumatologist Dr. Jane Doe, joint deterioration is often worsened by poor dietary choices. What you eat today directly affects how well you move tomorrow. Scary but also empowering, don't you think? Here's an interesting fact. Chronic inflammation, the kind that feels invisible, often begins with processed foods loaded with chemical additives. These seemingly harmless foods act like hidden enemies, wearing down the cartilage that protects your joints. For instance, excessive consumption of fast food isn't just a calorie bomb, it's packed with pro-inflammatory substances. Swapping out processed snacks for natural options can make a world of difference. As you reflect on how your diet impacts your joint health, imagine uncovering the foods that silently sabotage your well-being. Let's dive into this next step, the hidden dangers lurking in certain foods. Ready for the revelation? Hidden danger: how certain foods damage your joints. Often, the greatest danger is the one we can't see clearly, and this is especially true with food. Did you know that some everyday items, found in nearly every kitchen, could be silently harming your joints? The culprit often lies in the components of these foods, like phosphates. This substance, abundant in processed foods, depletes calcium from your bones, weakening your joint health. It's as if your body is paying off a debt it didn't even know it had. Take, for example, that sausage at breakfast or the soda with lunch. These foods may seem harmless, but are loaded with chemical additives that inflame your body. Recent studies reveal that excessive phosphate consumption, commonly used as preservatives, is directly linked to bone density loss. Just one can of soda can contain up to 30% of the daily phosphorus limit. Small indulgences, when accumulated, can have long-term consequences. And it doesn't stop there. The issue extends beyond sodas and processed meats. Even seemingly healthy foods can have hidden dangers. Who would have guessed that cereal bars or frozen fish sticks might be packed with additives slowly damaging your joints? It's not just about what you eat, but how these foods were processed before reaching your plate. So, as you become more aware of these dangers, the question becomes even more intriguing. If these foods cause so much harm, how can we pinpoint the worst offenders? Next, we'll focus on one of them: processed meats. and reveal why they're particularly harmful to your joints. Curious to find out more? Food 1. Processed meats and their hidden risks. Processed meats might be convenient, but the toll they take on your health, especially your joints, is enormous. Foods like sausages, ham, and hot dogs are packed with nitrites and nitrates, chemical preservatives that extend shelf life but also inflame the body. When consumed regularly, these substances trigger silent inflammation, which over time attacks cartilage and worsens joint pain. It's like adding an invisible weight to your joints every time you eat these products. To illustrate, a study published in the Journal of Nutrition and Metabolism found that people who frequently consume processed meats have higher levels of inflammatory markers in their blood. This is no coincidence. These foods burden your metabolism and hinder your joints' natural regeneration. If you've ever felt fatigued or experienced unexplained aches after a heavy meal, processed meats may be partly to blame. But don't panic. There are simple and healthy alternatives to processed meats. How about opting for fresh grilled chicken, omega-3 rich fish, or even legumes like lentils and chickpeas? These foods are not only nutritious, but also help reduce inflammation while providing real energy for your body. It's a swap worth making, for both taste and health. Now that you're aware of the hidden dangers of processed meats, let's shift our focus to another common culprit: refined sugars. Let's explore why they fuel inflammation and how you can avoid them without sacrificing the joy of eating. Ready for the next discovery? Food 2. Refined sugars and the inflammation cycle. Refined sugars are a true fuel for inflammation in the body, directly impacting your joints. When you consume excess sugar, it causes spikes in blood glucose levels, setting off a cascade of inflammatory reactions. This cycle affects cartilage and exacerbates joint pain. Think of that cold soda or irresistible dessert. They might seem harmless now, but in the long run, they're serious saboteurs of your mobility. According to the renowned Dr. Mark Hyman, sugar is like pouring gasoline on an inflammation fire. This happens because sugar increases the production of cytokines, proteins that amplify inflammatory processes. When repeated, these processes wear down your joints and impede their recovery. The effects might be invisible at first, but you'll feel them in the discomfort of walking, standing up, or even resting. Don't worry though, cutting back on sugar doesn't mean giving up flavor. There are plenty of delicious and healthy alternatives. Try sweetening your recipes with honey, stevia, or dried fruits. A bowl of natural yogurt with mango chunks, for example, is sweet, nutritious, and entirely free of refined sugars. This small adjustment can bring enormous relief to your body. Now that we've seen how sugar can be so harmful, let's take things a step further. There are other foods that silently harm your joints, and they may be more common in your daily life than you think. Let's dive into them in the next section and uncover the culprits. 3 other foods and their silent dangers. The list doesn't stop at processed meats and refined sugars. Let's look at 3 silent villains that might be hiding in your diet. The first is high-fat dairy products. While they're a popular source of calcium, they can trigger inflammation in people sensitive to lactose or milk proteins like casein. That creamy, irresistible cheese might be contributing to your joint pain. Another sneaky culprit is excessive salt, an ingredient found in almost everything. High salt intake can cause fluid retention, increasing pressure on your joints and worsening inflammation. Think of that heavily salted snack or prepackaged seasoning mix. These small indulgences can come with a big health cost. Replacing regular salt with fresh herbs like rosemary or oregano is a simple and flavorful way to ease the strain. Last but not least is alcohol, a well-known enemy of joint health. Alcohol dehydrates the body and raises uric acid levels, which can lead to gout, a painful form of arthritis. While an occasional glass of wine might not be an issue, excessive drinking creates the perfect environment for worsening joint problems. How about swapping beer for sparkling water infused with lemon and mint? It's a refreshing and much healthier choice. Now that we've mapped out these 3 silent offenders, the question is, how can you use this knowledge to transform your diet and, in turn, your quality of life? In the next section, we'll discuss how to put these ideas into action and develop eating habits that protect and strengthen your joints. Let's get started. Turning knowledge into action. What to do next? Knowing which foods to avoid is just the beginning. The real challenge lies in transforming that knowledge into practical changes that can truly make a difference in your life. Start by creating a meal plan focused on anti-inflammatory foods. Include options like omega-3 rich fish such as salmon and sardines, which help fight inflammation. Add dark leafy greens like broccoli and spinach, loaded with antioxidants that protect your joints. Planning your meals ahead of time is a powerful way to ensure healthy choices. Another practical tip is to take a close look at your pantry. Clear out processed foods high in preservatives, sugar, and salt. Replace them with natural snacks like nuts, almonds, and fresh fruits. When shopping, make a list of healthier items and avoid grocery shopping on an empty stomach to resist unhealthy temptations. These small, consistent steps can collectively have a huge impact on your joint health. Don't forget the importance of hydration in this process. Water is essential for keeping your joints lubricated and functioning properly. Aim for at least 2 liters of water a day, and if that feels challenging, try infusing it with ginger or lemon for added flavor and extra benefits. Swapping sugary drinks for water or tea is another simple yet effective way to reduce inflammation. Remember, dietary changes work best when paired with other healthy habits. Engage in low-impact exercises like walking, yoga, or Pilates to strengthen the muscles around your joints. Most importantly, don't view these changes as restrictions but as investments in your quality of life. In the final step, we'll explore how to stay motivated and continue this journey toward better health. Ready to keep going? Taking care of your joints isn't just about easing pain, it's about reclaiming your freedom of movement and quality of life. Imagine the possibilities: waking up without discomfort, exercising without limitations, and enjoying simple moments like playing with your grandkids or taking a walk in the park. It all starts with small daily choices, and now you have the tools to begin. But remember, knowledge only makes a difference when it's put into action. Why not start today? Revise your next grocery list, remove the villains from your cart, and replace them with healthier options. Share in the comments, which of these foods surprised you the most? Your story might inspire others to make changes too. And don't forget to subscribe to the channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our content. Want to take it a step further? If you enjoyed this video and want to support more content like this, click the thanks button below. It's a simple way to contribute directly to the channel and help bring valuable information to even more people. Every little bit helps, and together, we can build a healthier, more informed community. But the journey doesn't end here. In the next video, we'll explore foods that naturally help rebuild your joints. You'll discover how to eat well while reversing some of the damage already done. Curious? Then hit the bell icon and don't miss out.